You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Welcome to episode 77 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Shawn Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Hi.
Hi.
You just stole my introduction.
You told me to.
I did.
It was fun.
Good.
Thanks.
Because it's always me doing it.
Yeah.
I'm Shawn.
Well, it is your podcast, Shawn.
And you're Tracy.
I'm Tracy.
And we're here to entertain the heck out of these folks
Oh, yeah, we are.
on episode 77, as you mentioned in the introduction,
Yeah.
before the
I rocked it.
opening theme. You did rock it. You rocked it like a hurricane.
Okay.
I don't know. That's all I got.
I don't know.
Anyway, what are we talking about today?
Sleep and dreams.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I do both of those.
Me too.
I sleep and I dream.
I think everybody does those things.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't have any scientific evidence to back it up, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Except for those people with insomnia. But they must sleep too, right?
Just for short little bits, I'm guessing.
Do you think they dream?
I don't know. Probably.
Should we have looked that up before we launched the podcast recording?
Maybe.
We didn't, though.
We didn't. We don't usually.
No. Surprise. So, listeners, if you're here for a scientific breakdown of sleep and dreams, you are in the wrong place. I'm sorry to tell you.
If they're looking for a scientific breakdown of anything, they're in the wrong place and listening to the wrong podcast.
Hello, I'm Daniel Peter Hitch, author of the Bubbles the Pirate children's book series and the Connected Worlds Chronicles. You're listening to the Soul Forge podcast. Keep forging your soul.
This is true.
But maybe we'll sway them with our...
Witty banter?
Right. That's what I wanted to say, actually.
Was
Great.
it? Were those the exact words?
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. Stealing your thunder.
Well, I stole yours, so...
Well, so we're even now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So no more theft throughout the rest of the podcast, I guess.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Fair.
Okay, so sleep and dreams.
Yeah.
Well, I guess...
What are your first memories of sleep? I'm going to steal your thunder again.
Okay.
What are your first memories of sleeping?
My first memories of sleeping.
Or bedtime, or whatever.
I guess I have a vague memory of when I was maybe 2 or 3 and I was in the bedroom and I thought I saw creepy glowing eyes.
Ooh,
and
wow.
in the bedroom, and I was scared.
Yeah.
And it was really dark.
I think that's another podcast.
You think so?
Well, like ghosts and stuff?
Well, I don't know if I was making it up or if I was dreaming
Yeah.
or what the heck it was.
Uh-huh.
But
But you remember that.
I do remember that.
And that's really the, like,
The first.
yeah,
The
first memory of
Well, because I don't.
sleeping or dreaming?
I don't remember any baby sleeps.
No.
Like,
Napping or...
I do remember napping in kindergarten.
Yeah.
We had to do that on the carpets.
And how was that? How's your, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
How
Memory of that. Was it good? Was it bad?
I have a memory of all the kids around me sleeping and me being awake
Okay.
because that's who I was.
Okay. Yeah.
Nonconformist. all these friggin' kids sleeping like flowers in a garden and me being awake. You know.
Was it on purpose that you were awake?
No.
You just couldn't sleep.
I think I was just contrary.
Okay.
That's who I am sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about you? What are your earliest memories of sleeping, dreaming, or napping, or whatever?
That would be earlier this evening.
That's your only memory?
No. But I don't remember my childhood. So I don't really remember any of that. My mom and dad tell me that when I was a kid, I would put myself to bed
Okay.
because I was tired.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes with what I currently do, because when I'm tired, I go to bed, even if it's during the middle of the day.
Sometimes your body needs that,
Yeah,
and you got to listen to your body.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It just, most kids, and I kind of remember this, I think, as they're being told that it's bedtime or whatever, nobody wants to go to bed when you're a kid, right? You can't understand why your parents want you to go to bed.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Once again, I was a little bit contrary on that. Going back to my childhood, I remember my brother Curtis, he would drag out bedtime as long as he could. He would
Right.
brush his teeth in the living room for half an hour
Right.
and talk.
Uh-huh.
And me, my bedtime, always been around 10 o'clock. You
Okay.
didn't have to tell Shawn to go to bed. Shawn went to bed when he was tired.
Okay.
Unless there was a really cool show on TV that went up to 11. But even now,
Yeah.
10 o'clock is shutdown time, and it's been that way for like 30 years. That's just who I am.
That's
10
just
o'clock is bedtime, and always up early,
Uh-huh.
and I'm not one to sleep in
Okay.
unless I'm sick.
Right.
And I don't nap.
No,
I-
I know, and we don't agree on napping.
Sometimes I wish I could nap.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you try?
I have tried, but it's more like going to bed, so unless I'm sick, I can't do it.
No?
No.
Oh,
There,
my
there,
goodness.
there are rare occasions
Yeah.
where if I'm super tired, I can nap.
Uh-huh.
But a few weeks ago, we went to the Night Terrace Film Festival here in town,
Okay. Yep.
and it was Friday at midnight.
Yep.
And I thought, well, maybe I should take a nap
Right.
before,
Uh-huh.
so then I can stay up later.
Right. Because then
Now-
you could be up past 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Since it was at midnight.
It's at midnight.
Uh-huh.
And so I went for a nap.
Yeah.
It took forever to fall asleep, and then the alarm went off, and I just felt like I was drunk for the next 2 hours.
Oh,
So
so
napping is not a good idea.
no.
No.
I decided today that napping when you're tired is like my life motto.
Yeah.
If I'm tired, I'm gonna nap. And it works for me.
Well, if it works.
Yeah.
Because you napped just before we came over for recording the podcast.
I did. Yeah, that was great.
When you said, when I texted you and I said, are you still coming over for about 6? She's like, yes, I'm just going to have a nap soon first. And I was thinking, oh, I'm not going to see you tonight, am I?
I'm
But,
here.
but you're here.
Ta-da!
And we're recording this podcast that people are listening to a few days from now.
Right.
which
Yeah, a few days from now.
And of course, all these events that we're talking about will be a few days in the past
Right.
because of the magic of time travel.
Yeah, I almost forgot what day it was.
Well, today's Tuesday and this comes out. No, it's actually
No,
Monday.
it's Monday.
It's Monday and this comes out Thursday.
Right.
Right.
Because I was thinking the same, that it was Tuesday, so it would be in 2 days, and then I had
Yeah.
to think about it because
Because Tuesday is our usual recording
Yeah.
day, generally.
most often.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But
Anyway.
here we are.
Here we are, talking about sleep.
Yeah. And so when it comes to sleep, go to bed around 10. Don't have too much trouble falling asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But if I wake up, that's usually it for me.
Oh, no.
So even if it's like 4 or 5 in the morning,
Oh, yeah.
sometimes I can doze in and out.
Mm-hmm.
But if something wakes me up, then that's it. I'm done for.
Crappy.
Yeah. So I have a horrible staying asleep kind of
Yeah,
pattern.
that's no good. I've been through many different sleep situations, I guess, is a way of putting it. I've had insomnia.
What's
which
that
is,
like?
It's awful. Because you want to fall asleep so badly. You're so tired. And you just want to fall asleep. And you can't.
But why not?
I don't know. Well, for me, it was probably that my mind was going and going and going.
Mm-hmm.
But even at that time, I was taking something to help me relax, and it
Still didn't work.
wasn't working.
Oh, boy.
And so it would be like 2 or 3 in the morning before I would fall asleep. That was a couple years ago.
Okay.
Sleep was, and I dreaded going to sleep at night because of it. So,
Well, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
yeah, so that was pretty terrible. But right now, I'm sleeping quite well and napping every day.
So you're sleeping and you're napping.
Yes.
So but you're not well rested. You're still tired.
Yeah,
Weird.
yeah.
I guess a similar thing happens to me if my mind is too active.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll be tired and I'll be ready for bed, and then the mind won't shut off.
Right.
And I
That's
just
terrible.
my body won't turn off. I can't go to sleep,
Yeah.
and it feels like I'm awake all night.
Yes.
And I remember vague dreams, so I know I've slept. But for the most part, that's it. You just
So
the whole
what
next
do you,
day.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you. Go ahead.
The whole next day you're tired.
Yeah.
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 You
'cause
you feel groggy and drunk and off your kilter or whatever it is.
Yeah. Now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, what is your ideal condition for sleeping? Like, does it have to be really dark? Does it have to be super quiet?
Actually, people used to make fun of me for that, my
Okay.
family especially, because it has to be quiet
Yep.
and it has to be dark.
Okay.
And so I was the type of person who would put the TV guide draped over the little light on the VCR.
Okay.
I would put things over whatever light sources
Right.
there was. The curtains would have to be super closed.
Yeah.
I've relaxed some over the years because, when you have kids and stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
your ideal sleeping situation is just being
Yeah.
able to sleep.
Right.
It doesn't
Just
matter.
somewhere to put your head down. A chair, couch, bed, whatever.
Yeah,
Floor beside the crib.
exactly. and actually, I find as I get older, sleep is weird. And
Weird?
Yeah, because even before you came over, I was just watching TV, and I had my head on my hand, and I was fading out.
Okay.
Like, so I don't know if that's considered a nap or I'm just falling asleep. And it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Right.
So there's that. And then a few years ago, Bridget and I went to a Legend of Zelda symphony concert
Okay.
thing.
Yep.
And everybody was there in their Legend of Zelda shirts, and they were all cheering, and I was falling asleep
Oh no.
because I didn't care about the stuff. I was just kind of fading away, and like how
Startling
you
awake.
jerk yourself awake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I should be enjoying this way more than I am, but it's just putting me to sleep. I don't know if it was because it was relaxing or because I didn't care.
Yeah.
But the last few years, just randomly falling asleep. But ideally, 2 flat pillows in a dark room with no sounds. And you?
I can pretty much fall asleep whatever. Right now anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be dark.
Okay.
I'm afraid of the dark.
Actually, I am also afraid of the dark.
Okay.
But if the blankets are tucked up around me,
You're safe.
I'm safe from the monsters.
Okay.
Yes. So that's really the only fear that I have is a fear of the dark. So if I'm going up the stairs, the light at the top of the stairs has to be on
Right.
before
Right.
all that.
Yep.
All those things that
I
you
do know. Yeah, I know that very well.
But in the sleeping, it has to be dark. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, doesn't make much sense, does it?
Not really.
No. So you sleep with lights on.
Yeah. So either I have like a hall light on or I have a salt lamp that I usually have on. I just need a new bulb for it right now, but that's usually like my night light and I sleep with that on. And as far as music or sound goes,
Yeah.
it doesn't much matter.
Okay.
Although in the last week or so, I've taken to falling asleep to my favorite podcast other than the
Hey, this is Dr. Trek, Larry Nemechek, and you're listening to Soul Forge.
Soul Forge.
Oh, your favorite murder guys?
Right.
Yes.
So I've tried other podcasts because I thought, well, this one I'm super interested, so maybe I'll put another podcast where I won't be quite as interested, so I'm not as likely to stay awake.
Yeah.
Well, their voices weren't as soothing.
Oh, so they kept you awake. Oh.
It sounds ridiculous. But anyway, so I do that, but also I will put on relaxing music or meditation music or Reiki music.
Okay.
Even sleep meditations or affirmations, they're called.
Yeah.
So I often go to sleep with sound,
Okay.
but if I'm very anxious, that just annoys me.
Right. I can understand that.
Yeah. So then I have to have quiet, and that's when I use my meditation beats, which we had talked about
On the
on the
meditation.
meditation episode.
That's right.
Yeah. Episode number...
I don't remember.
Me either.
71,
I think it was 2, wasn't it?
71,
No, I don't know.
I think.
Anyway.
But anyway, listeners can go back and check all of our previous inventory.
Yes.
In university, I used to try to sleep to a CD playing.
Okay.
So there was that.
Okay, wait a second. I know you a little bit. So why did you want to fall asleep to a CD playing?
I don't know, just to try it,
Right, okay.
because I was like 20 and I figured I would try something new.
Okay.
I did that for maybe a month or two.
Yeah.
But then when I would go back home to the Sioux,
Yeah.
and it would be time to be with the family again for summer break, my brother Curtis would have his music going, and it would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
So if I'm listening to music, it's okay. But if somebody else is listening to their music, holy
terrible.
crap! Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not good. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit weird that way sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
And some people have to sleep with the fan on. They can't fall asleep without it.
My husband likes to have the fan on.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just as much for the sound, but he also gets quite warm, so it does obviously keep him cool. But if we go like to a hotel out of town or whatever, he doesn't bring a fan.
Right.
So it's not obsessive, I guess, but when we're at home, it's always on.
It's always on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't prefer the fan being on, but I can deal with it, especially if it's hot out or
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah,
it's
I
not something I
don't
need.
particularly enjoy it blowing on me, like on my face or whatever.
Yeah.
But once I'm asleep, then I don't really know the difference.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
And if the fan is too loud, that drives me crazy. But if it's just like a low white noise background thing, it's okay.
Yeah,
But some of
yeah.
those fans are squeaky and
Yeah.
it's just not
yeah.
good.
No,
Yeah.
I don't imagine it would be.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So, have you ever had recurring dreams or specific dreams you remember? You're smiling.
I'm smiling because that's a great transition to play a podcast promo for another show on the ESO network.
All right, let's do it.
Do you enjoy TV shows, movies, video games, comics, or novels? Do you enjoy listening to people discuss geeky topics without getting bent out of shape when they disagree? If you do, then the 42 Cast is right for you. We're a podcast with a rotating cast of guests that discusses a new topic every week. You can find us on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, Google Play, or 42cast.com. You can also support us and the entire ESO network by going to patreon.com/ESO network. That's the 42 Cast, your ultimate answer to fandom, geekiness, and everything.
Okay, back to recurring dreams.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember having recurring dreams.
Uh-huh.
It was something about driving down a highway with the water and the mountains in the background, and my dog was there.
Okay.
But the dog was like superimposed over it, like a sunrise,
Okay.
and I had that recurring dream quite a bit.
Interesting.
Yeah. What else have I had for recurring dreams? I know I've had continuation dreams.
Oh,
Nothing.
I didn't know. I don't remember ever having that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, you have a story of whatever's in your head and you're
Right.
dreaming about it, and then it's either the same night or it could be like another night, and the dream just continues.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's neat.
yeah.
Cool.
And sometimes I can remember my dreams, sometimes I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's vague flashes, or I'll know that, especially on a night where I can't sleep because
Yep.
I'm thinking too much,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll wake up in the morning and I'll know I'll have slept because I have a vague recollection of a
Of a
dream
dream.
fragment,
Yeah.
but nothing
Yeah.
specifically.
Have you ever had it happen where you're doing something or talking to somebody and a word is said or you see something and it reminds you, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot I dreamt about whatever
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Because it would bring it back.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's always neat like that.
I remember years ago watching Batman the animated series,
Uh-huh.
and Batman knew that he was in a dream because everything was in black and white and he couldn't read any of the words.
Oh.
And they always say that when you're dreaming, you can't read or see in color.
Really?
But I can. I read things and I see in color.
I don't particularly remember reading, but I know I've seen color. Well, I
Right.
think I have anyway.
Yeah. So
That was just on Batman.
that
It
was just
wasn't
on
real.
Batman the cartoon.
Yeah.
But it always made me think, and so because that stood out in my head for some reason, whenever I'm in a dream, I try to read stuff.
See if it's real or not.
Yeah,
That's kind of funny.
and that show came out in like 1992, so we're now in 2018, and,
And you
25
still-
years later, I
right.
still have that in my head.
Interesting.
So
Yeah, I've had a couple of recurring dreams. One I remember from when I was younger is that we were camping and all of a sudden there was a forest fire and we were trying to escape. And I remember it vividly because it's the campground that we used to camp at when I was much, much younger. And my mom and my grandmother passed away in this forest fire.
ooh,
And I dreamt that a
Repeatedly.
number of times as a child.
oh, that's scary,
Yeah, it was awful.
traumatizing even,
Yeah,
because Grandma and Mom didn't die in
No.
the forest fire.
nope,
No,
not even close.
right.
Yeah, and so I don't know why.
No.
Did you ever look into any of your dreams?
Yeah, like symbology
Right.
and things. I have.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in years, but I used to have, I think, it bookmarked on the computer.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
if I dreamt about a white rat, it meant this.
Yeah.
Or sunset meant this,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, maybe.
Maybe not.
But everything, it's like a fortune cookie or
Yep.
astrology. It's so vague, it could almost mean anything. So
Yeah.
I stopped doing that.
I remember this one dream, and I only ever had it the one time, but I did look it up afterward. But I was in a basement looking for something, and then all of a sudden there were spiders everywhere. I'm not scared of spiders. I'll pick up spiders and put them outside.
Okay.
There were spiders everywhere, and it was very creepy because there were so many. And in the dream, one crawled. I reached out for something, and one crawled up my arm and across like my back, like by my shoulders. And I still remember that feeling, and that was a while ago that I had that dream. Still have I can shudder because of that feeling being so. Ugh. I don't know how to describe it, but that's one of the dreams that I've had that I remember the most, and I don't remember what it meant.
But not recurring.
No,
It's just
that was just
super vivid.
Yep.
Actually, now that we're talking about it, I often dream that I have to go pee and there's no bathroom, and I have to go pee in a garbage can or something, or a hole in the floor, or in a laundry basket.
Right.
Just weird random spots, and then I wake up.
And you have to pee.
But I check myself to make sure I haven't peed the bed, and I haven't. Phew. So.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's probably the most common recurring thing. Like, I have to go to the pee, and there's
Yeah.
nowhere to do it properly. And that probably means something.
Well, probably means your brain's trying to wake you up.
Could be that
you
too.
have to pee.
Right.
When I was a child, I used to pee the bed.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I slept so hard. I don't know. But when one of my children was having that issue, I kind of looked into a little bit, different even devices, and talked to professionals, whatever that means. And the one gentleman that I spoke to said that kids with allergies are a lot more likely to pee the bed. And if they do have allergies, it's harder to get them out of it. Which that was me when I was a kid. I had really bad allergies. Well, I still do, but yeah. So anyway, I peed the bed a lot. My parents tried to wake me up, and I was like a zombie, and there's lots of stories they think are funny about that. But
That could be a whole other podcast one day. Tracy pees the bed.
yeah, you could have my parents.
They could be an interview subject.
Right.
It could be a very interesting episode.
No.
No, you don't think you want to do that?
No.
No?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Thanks anyway.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah. Another dream, a recurring dream that I've had, and I'm not sure I should say this on air, but is that somebody has been murdered, and I help the person who's murdered them, usually a loved one. Actually, I think it was always a loved one, not the same person, but whoever,
Okay.
to hide it.
So you don't kill the body.
No.
You hide the body.
Right, I help them,
Help them hide
cover
the
it
body.
up
Okay.
and lie about it, which I hate lying. I'm terrible at lying.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to kill somebody,
Do not call me.
Don't call you for help
Please don't.
with the disposal.
No.
Okay.
Because I'll just crack and go to the police. But in my dreams, I do it, and I've done it over and over again.
So you should be good at it in real life.
I should, but dreams and reality don't really.
Mix.
No.
Not well.
No. Do you ever remember dreaming about being like a superhero or, I don't know, anything like amazing or that made you feel great?
Yeah, I think so.
Anything
Nothing
specific?
nothing I can remember. No.
Yeah, me either. But sometimes those are wonderful dreams to wake up.
Yes. Because you feel happy when you wake up.
Yeah.
Like that happens often enough.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that was a really good dream. And then you'll tell somebody about it, and then it fades away.
Yeah.
So there's that. Actually, speaking of dreams, this was good that you brought this up. This past weekend, I was at Josh and Kitty's house,
Okay.
my co-hosts on the Rusted Robot podcast, and Kitty had a dream of this alcoholic drink.
Okay.
And so she woke up, she told Josh, they wrote it down, and they made it.
Yeah.
And I tried it.
Uh-huh.
And it was actually really good.
Cool.
Yeah, and they call it the Clark Kent.
Ooh.
It's because it's made with apple liqueur and all
Okay.
that kind of stuff. So it's really down home American.
Right.
You know, and
I love it.
And she said, yeah, and I also call it Clark Kent because when you're drinking it, you're having a super time. Kitty, only you would say that.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
love it.
she dreamt this drink,
Yep.
and it turned out really good.
That's fantastic.
So that's kind of awesome.
I wonder if a lot of artistic people do dream things and then wake up and like write them down or draw it or whatever it is.
Well, back in university when I was really into poetry, I would often dream snippets of lines that would be really good for a poem. And then I would never write them down because I'll remember it in the morning. Of course, I forgot every single time.
Right. Because you hear, I don't know if it's reality or not, but you hear of songwriters doing that, waking up in the middle of the night and scribbling down some lines or getting up and writing the song or whatever.
Yeah, you hear that because I think Keith Richards has a story about that.
Yeah.
Where he woke up in the middle of the night and wrote these lyrics down, went back to sleep, and woke up in the morning and what the heck is this?
Didn't remember it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think that's who it was.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So overall, sleep and dreams.
I like sleep and dreams.
That's
Wait, sorry, you're trying to wrap this up here, but I just remembered something.
okay.
Have you ever experienced different dreams or more vivid dreams depending on something you've eaten?
Probably.
Because if I eat barbecue chips, I always remember a dream, at least one dream.
Is that right?
Yep. And there's very vivid dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever paid attention. But some nights you do have several dreams in a row.
Right.
Like it's like you're flipping the TV channel.
Right.
And you're just getting snippets of this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
And you can remember the whole thing. And sometimes they're related and sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
So.
And sometimes you can just remember like this person was in it, but I don't remember what we were doing or whatever. And that's like they're so foggy.
And I'm not sure I've ever had a nightmare.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. A nightmare? How are you classifying a nightmare? Is like a horror movie
Yeah,
nightmare,
something that-
or like something bad?
Something bad is happening or freaking you out. Like I've had dreams where there's bad things happening, but those are the most interesting dreams because they're more vivid. So there's I've never woken up screaming or anything
Okay.
like that like you see
Yeah.
on TV. I don't even know if people do that for real, but
I don't know. I haven't experienced that either, but I have woken up suddenly from a dream,
I think I have to. Yeah.
but never screaming or anything. And as far as bad dreams go, I think I've had dreams of being chased or dreams of something bad happening to me in relationship to loved ones, but not like somebody chasing me with a knife or somebody trying to kill me.
I think I've had those kind of dreams, but I like those kind of dreams
Yeah.
because they're rare and they're interesting. And
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like how I feel when I wake up. I feel like I feel the emotion as I think I would have felt it if it were actually happening.
Okay. And I'm just thinking, that was weird. That would never happen.
That's awesome. Oh, that's way better than being all emotional about a
Right?
dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've had dreams where I've met really interesting people or
Ooh.
had really cool conversations. I'm like, why can't that person be real? You know, like that kind of thing. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I wish that situation was actually a real thing, not
Right.
just a dream.
Right.
That was nice.
Yeah.
And then you wake up sad because it's not real.
Yeah.
That happens. But
What can you do?
what can you do?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I always wanted to have a dream VCR. So you go to bed,
Yep.
you plug your head into something,
Right.
you wake up in the morning,
Yep.
and all your dreams are right there. So if you can't remember them, you can still see them.
Didn't that happen on a movie?
It did.
Okay.
It happened on several movies, I think. But my idea
Yours
for the
was
dream
first.
VCR predates me seeing any of that stuff.
Okay.
So maybe not the idea itself is original to me,
Right.
but that's what I always wanted since I was a little kid.
Cool.
The dream VCR.
That's neat.
Yeah, although it probably wouldn't be a VCR anymore. It'd be some kind of digital something or other.
Probably.
With a headband that
Right.
shoots out your brainwaves. I don't
Yep.
know. I don't know how it would work. I'm
Probably
not a
something like that.
I'm not a scientist or an inventor,
No?
surprisingly.
Surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And all this time.
Yeah. Sorry to disappoint you. So in conclusion, we like to sleep.
Yes.
Dreams are cool.
Uh-huh.
Sleeping patterns can suck sometimes.
Yes, again.
And dreams can be scary or fun or
Right.
make you feel things.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's
Very
it.
good conclusion.
Right? Not bad?
Yep, pretty. I like it.
Okay. Don't know if we learned anything, if we had any morals, messages, or meanings on this episode of the podcast.
Not necessarily.
But we had fun recording it,
Yeah.
and we laughed,
Yes.
and we entertained our listeners.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, listeners, hope you were amused as much as we were.
Yeah.
I hope you'll come back next week for another exciting episode of Who Knows What.
Who knows? We don't know yet.
You just never know what's going to happen on the
Right.
Soulforge
We
podcast.
decide like 5 minutes before we record.
Sometimes that happens. This is true. That's exactly right. So until next time, don't forget to leave a 5-star review in the iTunes store or
Yes,
the
yes.
podcatcher of your choice. You can check out our YouTube channel by searching my name and subscribing.
Shawn Vanderloo.
That's me.
Yeah.
And what else can they do, Tracy? They can join the Facebook page.
Yes.
They can email us and they can tweet us. And all that stuff is in the end credits. Instagram, yep. At Darth Vaderloo.
Right. I would love if some listeners wrote their experiences with sleep and dreams.
Yes.
Yeah. that would
Tweet
be-
it. Email it.
Whatever
Write
they
it on the
would,
link for the
however
page.
they're comfortable sharing it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
That'd be
share. Yep. Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
So
All right.
thanks for coming by the Soulforge headquarters and recording with me.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. So until next time, remember, if you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit. This has been another episode of the Soulforge Podcast. Find us on Twitter at SoulforgePod or email the show via soulforgepodcast@gmail.com. Soulforge is a production of Shawn Vanderloo and Friends. You can find Shawn on Twitter and Instagram at Darth Vaderloo. Remember to visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links and share the show with everyone you know. Thanks for stopping by the Forge. We'll keep the fires lit until your next visit.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.